But I tell you right now, Rob Wolf, you're back in the game, buddy. This is a contending team. I think you're going to be tough all year. I'm so proud of you. I'm very proud.
We're going to move on to team number 5, 24 home run.
This is Anthony DeRue and Chris Bracone.
I'm going to shut the shade a little.
Yeah,
you can continue with the commentary.
It's going in my eye,
so
right?
continue with the commentary.
Well, anyway, this is Anthony DeRue and Chris Bracone, and the sun's in my eye a little bit, so Tommy's going to take care of that. 150 to 1 pre-draft, B grade level expected, 4th to 7th range of where they're going to finish. Anthony and Chris might be getting old very quickly. I mean, Chris kept his coat on the whole time. I mean, like that's like what a 90-year-old man does. You know what I mean? It was so hot in that room, and this guy's got his jacket on. You know what I mean? Then he caused the table to his, behind him to be uncomfortable, and that's like, just being a little selfish. You're not the only one in the room. Just move your seat next time.
You just love cracking on.
I think that they both still feel that this league is easy money.
For no reason, you love to crack on them.
They both think that this league is easy money, and that's good because it's not Anthony DeRue's fault. Unfortunately, he's stuck with Chris Bracone. I give them credit though because they're always there, they're always prompt, they're always on time. They support the league, they support all our events we do, and they are characters, and we always love them, and they're perfect. And I think that I'm going to almost make this a point this year to spark up that rivalry I have with them again. Okay? But it's not going to last long because I'm going to go right by them very soon. I actually think
they have a decent team.
No, I think their first half of the draft was excellent.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at their first 12 picks, this team, when I was doing my post-draft odds, I was like, man, this team looks awesome. All right?
But then what made you change your mind so suddenly?
It just like Bistro Smokers.
The second half went down?
It just disappears. Dan Stralia, Asdrubal Cabrera, Rick Porcello, Sergio Santos, who they might get lucky with, Erasmo Ramirez, who pitched the good games, Tyler Skaggs, Joe Kelly, A.J. Griffin, Emilio Bonifacio.
Who looks like he's going to work out.
Come on. A.J. Przinsky. And what about Braun? I mean, what if Braun just can't handle this whole situation? And that's always
I highly doubt that's going to happen.
You might get lucky with Davis because he's going to play a lot, but he also had sore hammies coming into the year. And, you're going to get a good 3 months out of him, which could be very key in the stolen base department. Jennings is not a 40 stolen base guy. He's more like a 20, 25 guy. Frieri is shaky. We all know Santos is shaky. The usual suspects. Adrian Gonzalez, Hiroki Kuroda, Jordan Zimmerman on his team. I mean,
decent team.
I don't know. I think this team is in trouble. I give them a post-draft grade of D. They're probably going to finish in the bottom 5 of the league and 250 to 1 odds.
Wow. Yeah. I know you hope that because you don't want them anywhere near the Hall of Fame. But anyway, we're going to go to team number 4, and that's the Bean team.
Yeah, honestly, all joking aside, I mean, it's hard to talk about yourself because everybody likes their team more than, than maybe they can figure things out. But I felt like I prepared for this draft, and as the draft went on and got into it, I realized at one point that there wasn't one person in the room more prepared than me. And it was obvious by some of the picks people were making, and a lot of the oohs and the ahs that I got when I made my picks. I gave myself
not one person oohed or ahed.
I gave myself an A+ going in with a 4 to 1 favorite and a 1st to 2nd possible finish. And I'm coming out of this draft with 5 to 2 odds as the favorite and an A+ draft. I mean, only time zones, and we didn't get to them yet. We didn't get to time zones yet because they're ahead of me. But they're the only team right now that I think could challenge me. A little bit of Rob Wolf. I think time zones and Rob Wolf are the best teams. I mean, I had to take Carlos Gonzalez as the 4th pick. He's just a stud. He's 40-40 if he plays the whole year.
If he plays the whole year,
and that's a question mark, and I'm willing to accept it. I like the Verlander Gio combination. I did do the whole prospect thing and took Baez and Polanco, which I thought was worth the risk, especially with the DL move. I mean, with the DL move, if you get somebody hurt, you could put someone in almost like an extra reserve. So you're not forced to drop Baez or Polanco right away.
Right.
And it is a gamble because they could come up in 3 months, 1 month, who knows? And I think that was a good idea because once they hit the free agent market, you can't get them. I just think that, Ben Verveer might have been a good pick, no power, but a lot of speed. I just think that I'm well balanced. I got tons of offense on all sides, all categories, runs scored. You know, I got the 2 and 3 hitter on the Rockies. I got the 2 and 4 hitter on the Cardinals. I got the leadoff hitter on the Pirates. I got the 4 hitter on the Astros. You know, I got top hitting teams with top players. You know, and I just think that, you know, I'm just going to be tough to beat. I mean, if Machado pays off, which I'm not really counting
all right,
on.
well, you're
that's all.
You're going on a little.
No, I'm getting excited.
Okay,
I'll
we're
be
going to go
honest
to
with you
team
guys.
number 3.
Nobody's
We're going to go
beating
to
me.
the time
Nobody's
zones.
beating me. Nobody's
Time
beating me.
zones.
Time zones was Donald Carrata and Jason Carrata and another partner. They actually gave me 3 different. They have 3 partners and they paid like almost separately 3 different divisions. But A+ expected level with a 3-to-1 pre-draft odds, first or second expected finish. You know, and I think they come out of the draft looking really, really good. I mean, I put the pressure on Donald every year. Okay, but again, he sits by himself. He remains calm. He works the phone. He communicates well with his brother. And I just love the dedication and the effort that these 2 guys always bring. You know, they're another one that you don't really get a reaction from. They're very cold. They're very dry. They're serious, but they're kind of boring, but they're serious. You know, and I think with a team like this, a couple of tweaks here and there, and, you know, whatever. And they're very patient. You know, they're patient and then they attack. You know, and that's what I like about it. I love how they play this game. This team looks dangerous.
Okay.
Paul Goldschmidt. Alex Rios, a little bit early for Rios, 2nd round, but his stats prove it. Adam Wainwright, I don't like Hosmer. Hunter Pence, is he going to repeat that year? Hunter Pence had his greatest year last year. I just don't see that much, but you never know, he could do it. I love Jason Work coming into the year. Koji Uehara, Shelby Miller, Yadier Molina, Daniel Murphy, Clay Buchholz, Drew Smiley. I mean, just look at their roster. They just got a ton of great players. Very good batting average on this team. 5 toolers in Rios, Pence, Worth, and Goldschmidt. Excellent staff. The Jansen situation is the only thing I worry about here. You know, and what will Hunter Pence do? And can Work stay healthy? Tony Cingrani scares me. I wasn't a fan. I wasn't looking at him. I think he's a little wild, but everybody loves him. Wainwright, Uehara, Shelby Miller, Cingrani, Buchholz, Smiley, Ross. I mean, that staff is awesome. This is an awesome team. This is 5-to-1 post-draft, second choice. Most likely first or second finish. Excellent team on paper. You know, will Pence repeat and Cingrani and Smiley pull through? They don't have that many questions, Mark. I absolutely love this team.
Marlon Byrd.
I mean, but Marlon Byrd was a 20.
Colby Rasmus.
But he got them late. Those are late picks. I mean, you know, look at the team. I don't like
Hudson.
Tim Hudson stinks. But that's about it.
God, Casey Jansen.
Awesome team. 5-to-1 second choice.
It's just funny how certain teams, he mentions the top half, you know, and says in the same breath that anybody could draft the top half. But he neglects the people that he doesn't mention their bad players.
Just look at their team.
But we'll see what happens
they don't have
at
many
the end.
bad players to mention.
He just talked for 10 minutes and he still has to defend
Raul,
himself. It's
Donald
just
Carrata,
unbelievable.
Richard Stark,
Some things never change.
Darrell Williamson, and Richie Sayabet have the best teams
this
right
is
now.
to try to balance it.
All right, let's talk about Tony's Tigers.
We're going to go to team number 2, Tony's Tigers. And this will be a little more unbiased.
Anthony Palumbo, welcome back. 300-to-1 expected pre-draft odds and a C- grade level. I actually thought Anthony did really well. I mean, I gave him a B- post-draft, 75-to-1. I think he might finish between 5 and 8.
Yeah, we both thought he was going to be a little more unprepared.
You know, he got a beast in Cabrera. You know, Cabrera's a machine. You know, he also might have got a possible beast in Giancarlo Stanton, even though I don't like him.
Giancarlo. It's hard to get the 2 of those guys on the same team.
You know, I would have stood away from Reyes, and this is just a preparation issue. This is just not keeping up to date or not looking at players. You know, he had a bad hammy coming in. I didn't want no part of him.
And it was a little early.
You know, Freddie Garcia and Paul Konerko will waste, but he'll obviously drop him this week. You know, which Fernando Rodney will he get? You know, and that's very important. And these old arms, Herron, Kazmir, and Peavy. You know, these are very. This can make you or break you in some old bats. Peralta and Beltran. He's lucky he has Peralta, because he can move Peralta to short, lessen the blow of Reyes when he puts him on the DL and pick up a utility. So that helps.
I think he's got a very decent pitching staff.
He does,
and I think his offense is pretty decent. If he could handle filling in the spots of the injuries on both his pitching and his offense, I think he'll be okay. And I think he could do that. I think he has no problem getting his feet wet. He'll get right into the trading. I know he will. And, you know, it's going to be how much he tackles the free agent market and how much he pays attention to who's available. And that's going to be the key to his season. Because if he doesn't pay attention or he lets things go, people are going to look at things that he doesn't.
I think that if he gets off to a hot start and he's energized, he's going to walk around all day with that iPad and constantly keep looking at the
Yes,
game, especially when he's working.
If he's up there.
If he's up there. And
If he's up there.
he's already tried to make contact with a couple of teams, so we already know he's looking at things.
Yes.
He's got Tanaka, he's got Anibal Sanchez, he's got Zach Wheeler. He had a couple of nice late picks in Robbie Grossman and Daniel Navar.
Yeah.
I mean, even Bartolo Colon was in bed. Even Jake Peavy. These are all 19 rounds or later.
Yeah.
So I think he did a great job. This is a guy that's been out of the game for a while. He has power and average. How much will Eric Young Jr. play? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of things I like about this team. And it's funny how a lot of people in our league disrespect people as far as they have no shot. But I tell you the truth. The guys who I gave bad odds coming in, they did well. And a lot of the guys that, they come in with their cockiness, they're nowhere to be found. And I'm so happy that I really believe that Henry did a good thing. I call him Henry, did a great job, and I'm excited because, I want him to be involved. You know what I mean? So good luck.
We're going to go to team number 1 and the last team on this commentary, MVP.
Paul Scavello had the number 1 pick. It's funny because in his league, I got the number 1 pick. And I thought it was fun to have him right in front of us. He was one of those guys that was, it was good that he...
And you don't mind having him right in front of you.
Yeah, he's fun. He's a fun guy.
He doesn't constantly look at you. He doesn't grill. You don't even know he's there. And that's really nice, actually.
And you could joke. He talks a little bit.
Yeah.
I gave him a 400-1 expected pre-draft odds with a C+ expected level, bottom 5. I actually thought he had a good draft, but the thing with Paulie is right away, right out of the gate, he got, my evaluation was, done about a day ago, 2 days ago, but the Nate Jones situation.
Yeah, well, he got unlucky.
He gets unlucky with that. The Bobby Purnell situation
is terrible. He
gets unlucky with that, but he also drafted a lot of hurt guys, Hisashi Iwakuma, Mike Minor, Tajon Walker. He ends up with Michael Bourne, who might come back. Why take Carlos Correa? Natali Felice. He also loses Wilson Ramos. So right out of the gate, the first week, Paulie has so much to do. And you know what, Tom? I don't know if he's capable of doing it.
Well, you know what? You made a mention of it on the website, but in all honesty, he does have the ability to kick save his season.
Yes.
Because he has such a huge player. And, obviously you're going to do what you're going to do anyway. But, dude, I mean, if anybody's going to get you multiple guys and cure multiple injuries, it's a Mike Trout kind of guy. And he has that kind of player. Of course, it's very difficult for people when they do get the number 1 pick to give up that pick. But you got to give to get. And if you want to salvage your season or just wait for it to roll away and keep Mike Trout on your team, I think his key is to trade that big player because that's the only way you're going to salvage that many holes. Unless you really have faith in the free agent system.
Yeah. Well, I disagree. I don't think you have to trade Trout because he does have room on his team. I mean, you're not going to keep Felice. You're going to drop him. You're not going to keep Carlos Correa. You're going to drop him. You're not going to keep Wilson Ramos. You're going to drop him. You know what I mean? You're not going to you're going to reserve Iwakuma, Mike Minor, Tajon Walker, and you hope Michael Bourne gets activated because we're already talking about it. I would get rid of Bobby Purnell. I think he's done for the year. But here's another thing. But here you speak about the free agent. At least in our league, that there are players out there, and you could pick players up, drop. That's one thing about us. You're not done after this many.
It seems like you're referring to another league in the third person.
Well, there's other leagues that that there's nobody out there. Not Paulie's league. His league's got a lot of players. But here's another thing. Another thing about Paulie's team. Billy Hamilton. I mean, no one knows what they're going to get from this guy.
I do, but everybody knew they were going high in so many other leagues, and it was all based on.
It's a magazine pick. He says he doesn't look at the magazine, but I don't think so.
No,
D. Gordon.
I think he completely got because they've been talking about how he might have a comeback.
But BJ and BJ Upton, so he's.
But again, these are magazine picks.
But you got Upton and Gordon, and you're adding them to all these injuries.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work. I wouldn't.
If he gets another couple injuries, it's over.
He might make 6, 7, 8 moves this week.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys out there. And here's the thing. If he has a good week and gets a bad pick, that's a no good.
That's like the Italian way to say it. That's a no good.
He would want the worst pick so he could at least replace Nate Jones or at least replace Bobby Purnell. You know what I mean? So get that out of the way. I don't know. I think that the core is there. Strasburg and for Jose Fernandez is a sick combination.
Yeah.
Mike Trout, Matt Moore, Alex Gordon, Buster Posey. Albert Pujols. What's he gonna do? So I think that he had a good draft.
So what kind of post odds do you give him?
I gave him 101, but these issues.
And that's better than my odds.
These issues have
How funny is that?
These issues have added to it, but I'm going to stick with 100 to 1 because I don't think it's that far off. He still has a core here, but he has to do it this week. I think he had a B draft. He's going to finish between 5 and 8. You know, his odds would be his odds would be worse. You know, but I'm going to see what he does first with the closer situation. You never know. You know.
Well, that's Rich. That's a conclusion of the 2014 Fantasy Baseball 14 Team City Island Draft League.